face that she keeps in a jar by the door.
There are songs that make you feel something, and then there are songs that make you feel something you do not have a name for yet. Something that lives right underneath the ribs.
Get together then, Dad, we're gonna have a good time.
I have been making this list in my head for years, and I have been putting off making this video for almost as long, because these songs deserve to be talked about the right way. So, here we go. The 10 saddest songs in rock history. And I need you to know, by the time we get to number 1, you will understand why I waited.
I would find a way.
Number 10, Eleanor Rigby, The Beatles, 1966. Here is something I have thought about more than I probably should. Paul McCartney was a teenager in Liverpool, doing odd jobs for old ladies in his neighborhood. One of them, he has said, he got to know very well. He would go shopping for her, sit in her kitchen, listen to her stories. He has said that just hearing her talk enriched him in ways he could not explain. And from that kitchen, from that old woman, from the specific feeling of someone living a life that nobody else was really watching,
Wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door,
came this song. Eleanor Rigby picks up rice after a wedding she was not invited to. She dies. Nobody comes. And the priest who buries her, Father Mackenzie, whose name McCartney found by literally flipping through a phone book, walks away from the grave wiping the dirt from his hands. Alone. Because he is always alone too. No congregation. No one saved. Now here is the part I did not know. Paul McCartney did not play a single note on this track. None of the Beatles did. It is all strings. A double-string quartet arranged by George Martin. The band that was rewriting what a rock song could be sat this one out entirely.
Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along.
Because the music already existed, it just needed someone to hear it. And there is one more thing I need to tell you. In the churchyard of St. Peter's Church in Woolton, Liverpool, the exact church where Paul McCartney and John Lennon met for the first time in 1957,
Rigby picks up the rice in a church where the wedding has been.
there is a gravestone with the name Eleanor Rigby on it. McCartney says he does not remember seeing it, but he thinks maybe he did and never forgot.
Donning his socks in the night when there's nobody there.
And I know you know what I mean when I say that some things find their way into you before you ever know they are there. This is the song that knows that.
Wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave.
Number 9, The River, Bruce Springsteen, 1980.
And man, that was all she wrote.
This one started with his sister. Virginia Springsteen got pregnant in her senior year of high school.
We went down to the river.
She and her boyfriend Mickey got married in a small ceremony. No walk down the aisle, no wedding dress, no wedding day smiles. Just the courthouse and whatever came after. And what came after was a life that closed in fast, the way that kind of life can close in.
But lately there ain't been no work on account.
Bruce watched it happen. He filed it away somewhere he did not know was this deep.
Body tan and went down at the reservoir at night.
When he finally wrote it, he wrote it from the inside. From Mickey's perspective, a man who looks back at the river where they used to go when they were young and free and does not recognize it anymore.
Down to the river.
Because it has gone dry. The place that used to hold everything is empty now, and you cannot tell if a dream that did not come true was a lie or something worse. He debuted it live at Madison Square Garden. Virginia was there, and she came backstage afterward, found her brother, and said, and I want you to hear these 4 words, "That's my life. That is my life."
But I got very pregnant.
Here is the thing I could not stop thinking about when I dug into this. Virginia and Mickey are still married, to this day. The real story did not end the way the song ends.
To the river we'd ride.
But Bruce understood that that for a million other Virginias and Mickeys, it did. That is what the best songs do. They tell the truth about a life that is not theirs but could have been everyone's.
For the Johnstown Company.
Let's look at the numbers. Only 9% of you are actually subscribed. Honestly, that's tough to see. Our team spends days hunting down archives and verifying every single fact just to tell these stories right. If you've made it this far into the video, you're clearly part of the community, so please hit subscribe. It costs nothing and helps us immensely. Now, for those already subscribed, very few of you have made the jump to our membership, and that's a hard pill to swallow because you're the ones who know our value best. If this channel has moved you or inspired you, consider joining. It's the price of one coffee, but it's the literal fuel for this channel. Let's keep this alive together. Back to the story. Number 8. Fire and Rain. James Taylor, 1970.
They let me know you were gone.
Let me tell you what this song is actually about. Because there is a rumor, a myth, really, that has been following this song for 50 years.
And a friend, but I always thought
The rumor says that Suzanne was Taylor's girlfriend, and that she died in a plane crash on her way to surprise him at a concert, and that the flying machines in pieces on the ground was the wreckage. Beautiful story. Complete fiction.
cold wind blows, it'll turn your hair around now. There's how
The real story is sadder. James Taylor was a teenager in New York, performing with friends, getting high, trying to figure out who he was going to be.
oh now I thought I'd see you, I thought I'd see you far.
He knew a girl named Suzanne Schnurr from those days. She was, in his words, just a kid, like all of them. He went to London to record his first album for Apple Records, the Beatles label.
I seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
And while he was there, Suzanne died by suicide. His friends knew. They decided not to tell him, because he had this big break, this record deal, this chance. They did not want to derail him.
Never end. I seen lonely times.
And so he found out 6 months later. 6 months later, the flying machines in pieces on the ground is not a plane. It is his first band, James Taylor and the Flying Machine, which had already fallen apart by then.
I seen lonely times when I could not find a friend.
His dreams in pieces on the ground, and Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you, is about fate, about whatever invisible force arranged that particular life to end that particular way, while he was across an ocean not knowing
That I'd see you again.
He wrote the song at 3 separate moments over 2 years. He started it in London, worked on it in a hospital where he was being treated for depression and addiction, and finished it in a rehab facility in Massachusetts.
Turn towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold.
The song is all 3 of those places at once. Carole King played piano on it. I need you to sit with that for a second. He found out 6 months later, and the song he wrote has been mistaken for something else for 50 years, and I know you feel the difference now.
Is on the ground. Well, now I've seen fire.
Number 7. Cats in the Cradle. Harry Chapin, 1974.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver.
Harry Chapin's wife Sandy wrote it first. She wrote a poem about her first husband's distant relationship with his father, 2 men who lived in the same orbit and never really touched.
When we'll get together then, you know we'll have a good.
And she wrote it around a country song she had heard on the radio about an old couple looking out at a rusted swing set, talking about how fast everything went. She put it away. Harry saw it and did not feel much about it. Then his son Josh was born, and Harry was not there. He was on tour. He came home and picked up the poem and felt it for the first time. He put music to it, and the song scared him.
It occurred to me he'd grown up just like me.
He said that himself. He said, frankly, this song scares me to death. And it went to number 1. His producer told him it would only appeal to 45-year-old men. Harry insisted. The producer was wrong and Harry was right. And sometimes that is the whole story of an artist. But here is the part that lives with me.
Hey, he said, thanks for the ball, Dad. Come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw?
Harry Chapin spent most of his career giving away his money. More than half of his concerts were benefit performances. He was feeding people with his own earnings. He co-founded World Hunger Year. He was supporting so many causes, his widow later said. with only slight exaggeration, that he was supporting 17 relatives, 14 associations, 7 foundations, and 82 charities. On July 16, 1981, he was driving to perform a free benefit concert at Eisenhower Park. He was 38 years old. A truck hit his car on the Long Island Expressway, and Harry Chapin died. He wrote a song about a man who ran out of time before he figured out what mattered.
I called him up just the other day. I said,
And then he ran out of time himself before he got old enough to see if his kids grew up just like him. You already know the feeling this song leaves you with, because you always knew it before you knew why. Now you know why.
cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man.
Number 6. Everybody Hurts, R.E.M., 1992.
Don't let yourself go.
Bill Berry wrote most of this song, the drummer, and he wrote it with a specific audience in mind. Teenagers. Teenagers who were in a bad place.
This life will hang.
Teenagers who might be thinking about something he did not want them to do. The band had written political songs. They had written cryptic songs. They had written songs that practically dared you to find the meaning buried inside them.
No.
This was none of those things. This was a message song. And the message was, you are not alone, and you need to hold on. Michael Stipe made a decision when he recorded it. On most R.E.M. songs, he sings with a kind of artistic distance, a deliberate obfuscation, letting the listener find the meaning. For this one, he sang it so clearly that you cannot miss a single word, because he did not want anyone to miss a single word. The state of Nevada, which had one of the highest rates of teen suicide in the country at that time, formally praised R.E.M. for this song. A crisis charity in the UK built an entire advertising campaign around it. Just the lyrics and a phone number. That is how much they trusted the song to do the work. And here is the thing, Bill Berry never plays on it. Not a single note of his drum kit. They used a $20 drum machine because it had the right feeling. Wooden and mechanical, human and not.
When you think you've had too much.
And Led Zeppelin's John Paul Jones arranged the string section. Yes, that John Paul Jones. Stipe later said that people had come up to him in person, more than once, and told him the song saved their life. He said it is the purest thing he has ever recorded. He said it instantly belonged to everyone except them, and I know exactly what he means by that. Some songs stop being yours the second they are out in the world. This one was never theirs to begin with. It was always ours.
In this life.
Number 5, Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd, 1975. Syd Barrett was the reason Pink Floyd existed. He was the original genius, the songwriter, the frontman, the creative force behind their debut. And then, between the LSD and whatever was already moving inside him, he fell apart. Completely.
Did you exchange walk on part?
The band had to move on without him. They brought in David Gilmour to replace him on stage while Barrett was still technically in the band, playing right next to him, quietly taking over. And eventually, Syd was gone. He was 21 years old.
Steel red. A smile from.
Roger Waters never stopped grieving that. Years later, he decided to write an entire album about absence, about what happens when someone is there and then is not, about the music industry, about the feeling of being a shell of the thing you were supposed to be. The album was Wish You Were Here, and the centerpiece, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, was directly, explicitly, unmistakably about Syd Barrett, about the brilliant madman who launched everything and then disappeared. On June 5, 1975, while Pink Floyd was in Abbey Road, in the final mixing session for Shine On You Crazy Diamond, a heavy, bald man with shaved eyebrows walked into the studio. Nobody recognized him at first.
Can you tell a green field from a
They assumed he was a crew member, an equipment guy, someone's assistant. And then David Gilmour looked closer. It was Syd Barrett. He was 29 years old. Nobody in the band had seen him in 7 years. And there he was, standing in the room while they mixed a song about him. A song he did not know existed, a song that was trying to mourn him while he was still alive. You just stopped. I know you did. Because when I found that out, I had to put down whatever I was doing. Waters was brought to tears. Barrett reportedly said something about wanting pork chops and asked if there was anything he could contribute. Then he left. None of them ever saw him again. He died in 2006, aged 60. In the same Cambridge house where he had spent his last decades quietly painting and gardening, under his birth name, Roger. He did not want to be Sid anymore. He went back to the room where they were mixing the song about him, and then he was gone again. Forever. Number 4. 1. Metallica, 1988. James Hetfield had an image. Just an image. A brain inside a body that had stopped working. That was the whole idea. A human consciousness with nothing left to live inside. Nothing to see, hear, say, touch. Just a mind in a broken shell, begging for something no one would give it. His manager heard the idea and told him to read a book. A 1939 novel by Dalton Trumbo called Johnny Got His Gun. Trumbo was a Hollywood blacklist survivor, a left-wing screenwriter who had gone through the McCarthy-era witch hunts and come out the other side. And in 1939, before any of that, he wrote about a young American soldier in World War I who wakes up in a hospital and slowly discovers what has happened to him. He has lost his arms, his legs, his eyes, his ears, his jaw, everything. He is a mind and a torso. He can feel the nurses checking on him. He can feel the rhythms of the hospital. And he cannot tell them anything. He cannot ask them to end it. He cannot do anything except think. Hetfield read the book. The song wrote itself. This was the first music video Metallica ever made. They refused videos for years. On principle, they thought the business of it would compromise the music. But for this one, they made an exception. They also bought the rights to the 1971 film adaptation of the book, specifically to use footage in the video. They bought an entire film so they would never have to pay royalties on their own music video. The song begins quietly. It ends as one of the most terrifying pieces of music ever committed to tape. And it is all based on a fear that Dalton Trumbo articulated in 1939, and James Hetfield understood in 1987, and that is still, right now, completely real. Darkness imprisoning. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Number 3. Black, Pearl Jam, 1991. Stone Gossard wrote a demo, an instrumental. He called it E-Ballad. He put it on a tape with 4 other songs and sent it around, looking for a singer and a drummer. The tape found its way to a gas station attendant in San Diego named Eddie Vedder. Vedder recorded vocals for 3 of the songs and mailed the tape back to Seattle. The band heard it and invited him to come up. On the flight to Seattle, on a plane, heading toward a band he had never met, to become the voice of a group he did not yet know was about to be one of the biggest in the world. Vedder wrote the words to E-Ballad. He called the new song Black. It is about letting go of a first love, about how a relationship can be everything, and then it is over, and the world is still there, moving around you, while you stand in the wreckage of something that used to be your whole sky. And I know you have had a version of this experience. The specific details are different. The feeling is not. Epic Records told Pearl Jam they needed to release it as a single. It was the obvious move. The album was exploding. This was the ballad that could cross them over to every format, every radio station, every audience that had not already found them. Vedder said no. His exact words were, "Fragile songs get crushed by the business. I do not want to be a part of it." He personally called radio station managers to make sure the label had not gone around him. The song hit number 3 on the Billboard mainstream rock chart without being released as a single, just from people hearing it on the album. Just from people playing it to the one person who needed to hear it. In live performances, Vedder sometimes adds a line at the end. We belong together. His voice raw and open, in a way that makes you understand what it cost him to write this. He has said it still tears him up to sing, every single time. Number 2, Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton, 1992. Once you know this, the song is different. It was always different. We just did not always know why. The night before his son died, Eric Clapton took Connor to the circus on Long Island. They watched clowns and elephants. When they got back, Clapton sat down with Connor's mother, Lori, and told her something he had never quite said before. That he intended to be a proper father now. That things were going to change. That from this point forward, he was going to be there. She saw in his eyes that he meant it. She believed him. The night ended happily. The next morning was March 20th, 1991. Connor was 4 years old. He was with his nanny in the apartment. A janitor had opened a window to air the room after cleaning it. Connor ran past the nanny, toward the window he usually leaned against to watch the street below, and fell 53 floors to his death. Clapton was at his hotel nearby, getting ready to pick him up for lunch at an Italian restaurant and a visit to the zoo. His phone rang. He went cold. He shut down completely. He spent months in isolation. Then he slowly came back to music, writing songs for a film called Rush. And in that process, trying to find somewhere to put what was living inside him, he wrote Tears in Heaven with songwriter Will Jennings. He almost did not release it. The film's director, Lily Zanuck, convinced him to let her use it. She told him it might help somebody. He said that got his vote. After the funeral, after everything, a letter arrived at his London address. Connor had written it before he died. His mother had helped him. The letter said 4 words, I love you, Dad. The letter arrived after the burial. For years, Clapton would not perform the song. He said he almost subconsciously used music as a healing agent, and lo and behold, it worked. But there was a cost to that. There always is. You know this song. We all know this song. Sit with it differently now. Number 1, Hurt, Johnny Cash, 2002.
The only thing that's real.
Rick Rubin asked Johnny Cash to cover a 9 Inch Nails song. Cash was 70 years old. He had survived decades of addiction, a marriage that had nearly destroyed him and then saved him.
I will let you down.
The collapse of a recording career that had once been the most dominant in country music, and a long string of physical ailments that were catching up fast. And Rick Rubin said, there is a song by Trent Reznor that you should sing, and Cash, who was never afraid of the dark, said yes.
Everyone I know.
When Reznor heard the finished recording, when he opened a package that arrived in the mail and pressed play, he said it felt like someone kissing your girlfriend. He said it felt invasive, because it was his most personal song, written from the inside of a very specific kind of self-destruction.
The old familiar sting.
And here was another man's voice living inside it, making it mean something else entirely. Then Reznor watched the music video, and he changed his mind completely. He said it made sense. He said it was a warm hug.
Full of broken.
He has said it felt like one of the most powerful pieces of art he had ever been connected to. He has said that the song no longer belongs to him. He is right. Johnny Cash changed one line.
And you could have it.
Cash changed it to most quietly devastating things I know about how music works. And some of you already know where this ends. And you are right. June Carter Cash appears in the music video.
His friend. Everyone.
She sits nearby, watching her husband play. That footage was filmed in February 2003. June died on May 15, 2003, 3 months after they filmed it. 3 months after the last time she was ever captured on film, was sitting in that room, watching the man she had held together for 35 years, singing about regret and damage and everything he might have done differently.
I am still right here.
Johnny Cash died on September 12, 2003, less than 4 months after his wife. He had kept making music until the very end, just like she asked him to. He recorded over 60 more songs after June died, because the last thing she asked him to do was keep going.
All my empire.
He died with over 60 unfinished songs beside him. American IV, the album with Hurt on it, was Johnny Cash's first U.S. gold record in over 30 years. The song that got him there was a cover of an industrial metal track written by a man who said it felt invasive when Cash touched it, and then said it became something beyond both of them. Number 1. This is the one I came here to tell you.
The needle tears a hole